on anything and everything that she does. So obviously, it's no wonder that the kids love her. Now, Snowball, takes challenges well. And we had asked a couple of people in the world of theater if they would look at Satish's plays and comment, and they put it off. And I know it was because they thought, oh, heck, how can we tell a friend that his play is really bad? But Snowball took that challenge. And Snowball, I am so grateful to you. She said, she took a deep breath, I will say, but she said, okay, I will read it. And not only did she read it, but she gave us her honest comments, which I'm so grateful for, Snowball. This is where you pitch in.
I'm being careful because I must do this right. I appreciate Sunita, Chetan, they're all old friends of mine. I see students out there. And Farooq, I want to say, if you're still there, that you're very bad. Your daughter got into Mira's on her own steam. I taught her and she's a wonderful girl. All right. I want to tell the rest of the people there that yeah, I'm one of those Iranis, from those Irani cafes. So I'm glad Satish has kept us alive in his play. But I want to do this right. So I'm going to begin with, and this is very important to me, because I just finished teaching one of my favorite short stories. I teach it over and over again, and I love it more each time. And it's called The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. And, in this story, the nightingale will pour her life and her soul into her art. And, in the moonlight, inspired by, the madness of talking to daughter's dogs and walking up and down, you sing with a thorn against your breast, and what you must understand is how much courage and how much of oneself one pours into one's art. And I'm also aware that there are nightingales, but there is also the wise oak tree and the dawn and echo. These are all very, very important people because they are people who are listeners with reverence, with love. And that is so important, And then there are stupid people like the student and the young girl who don't value art and the belief that it stands for. And so I'm setting the ground, and I hope I am like the oak tree, that loving listener. And always, 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 some people are so fortunate because they're just so gifted, they do all these things, they sing and they act and they write stories. And thank God for us, oak trees that listen with reverence. All right. But always, always so in awe of these courageous creators, the courage to pierce their hearts, with thorns and give color and life to our world. So I'm so happy to have read Satish's plays and then watched one performed and come alive on stage. It's not meant to be read, it's meant to be enacted. So I took the offering of his rose. I did not throw it in the gutter or drive over it, only a little bit here and there, all right? And I enjoyed it, Satish, it was fun. And that was Cafe Alibaba. But the play that I'm going to talk about is a play called Waiting. And it's the last play. And I think that's very significant. And I think it's close to everybody's heart, I'm going to gloss over is the obvious Godot, all right, or Godot waiting over there. Because more than that, Satish, that what I enjoyed was the connection that one feels with the play, because it really captures this everyday conversation. I think even Cafe Alibaba does that, just the way, and Cafe Alibaba is nostalgic for us, right? We've all been young, we've hung with friends, we've had our adda, and we've gotten through life, with that. But this is a little older, and any one of you who have been married, you realize sometimes you slip into this, the bickering, and lockdown was a little hard. So the bickering became a little bit of rumbling, a lot of doors slamming in my house definitely happened. All right. But it also is a testimony to a lifetime that's shared together. And these mutterings and grumblings and crusty comebacks, you realize how much nicer we are to strangers, how much nicer we are to strangers. And, but behind all of this is, it's so palpable, the genuine stress and the frustration that in a way all of us have experienced during this lockdown. And there is this sense of futility, of being trapped, of no escape, all right? And then what is so magnificent is this crazy resistance, to just letting the flame die out, without a spark. And this comic bickering, all right, between the couple, strangely, it's what makes the futility bearable. They really become heroic, like great adventurers. They fantasize about this big bang exists. And after coming up with this amazing big bang exit, they survive the death of that dream. They're spitting neighbors. Believe me, I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs, but I got dog pooping neighbors, all right? Totally get that, all right? Their own acrimony between themselves and just so much more. And what is so important is that the play acknowledges so many current problems. Online education, talk to us about it, all right? Class injustice, if we're whining about online education, there are kids that are not getting that. And he puts that in the play. This loss of income that I don't think anybody has escaped. All of this is made bearable, watchable by this tragic comedy kind of witty exchange, and along with that, confessions of adultery, tragedy, and some of the background issues that I want to talk about is, of course, this huge difficulty of dealing with a special child and how it can bring a family together, it can tear a family apart. Can you hear me?
There's a little disturbance coming around.
Little disturbance, yeah.
And I don't think anybody here can say that they have not felt this. I have felt this. This general sense of my well-being and my happiness being put in jeopardy by this pandemic. How the pandemic worked in both ways. You have these self-righteous vigilantes who want to complain about everything. And what is so wonderful is that his characters will evolve, and they will, cross over not the dark side, but the shining side.
Okay.
And there will be a generous spirit of concern.
We're losing you.
Satish, can you hear?
No, we are losing you every now and then.
Okay. You open the door and see if you get a better connection now. Tell me if this is better.
Better.
Okay,
It's better.
great. So yeah, these self-righteous vigilantes, and then they turn into these generous, inclusive people, the feeling of community, this birth of new friendships. I'm a working person. I don't have time to, I just say, hi, everybody, run inside my house and talk, close the door. But in this time, I got to know people, connect to old people, make friends with new people. He addresses the apathy of the government. And even that, he acknowledges that in a sense, they're overwhelmed. What can they do? There is this general religious stereotyping. So you want to blame, the convenient neighbor, it turns out to be the inconvenient one. There is this wonderful evolution of 2 protagonists. And ironically, it is their sense of adventure for a spectacular end that is their testimony to hope and belief in life. I just finished teaching Tennyson's Ulysses. And I can see in a way that connection, this old man choosing to drink from the lees of life, getting ready to sail on this last journey, even if it takes him, to the end of the world, because that's who he is. And those are these characters, and I want to say thank you, Satish, for gallantly, and this is my show-off moment too. Thank you for gallantly offering us your rose. And the wonderful thing is that with a rose like that, each person out there can do what they want with it. So if you want to wear it in your hair, or you want to wear it against your heart, or you want to put it in a vase, you can do what you want with it, but it's always beautiful. So thank you, Satish.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Snopa. Thank you so much. Okay.